everyone, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Delinks video. I would just like to explain what the hell happened there in my last video. I was dealing with some family drama, basically, and that really hit me hard because I'm just like, I may not be flipping my shit in the way that I used to. Sure, I wasn't shaking or anything. I was stable, but I still don't quite understand how that affected my dueling. I'm still confused. I can't answer you. Like, how the hell does that... I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I think attacking you, Belle, was just like, I am so fucking done. And I mean, honestly, Belle is implied to get better. They're implied to get better after fusion. After Jade infused their souls, Belle is implied to get better. Oh, wow, damn. Belle meant it. They want more. Okay, Belle, sure. I'm not going to attack you this time because I'm less dumb. But I think whatever happened earlier was just, I'm tired of this shit. I am so tired of this shit. And now, here's the thing. You don't put a brush in the washing machine. And my sister is old enough to know this. She's 14, which is why I insisted that Yuya's age is 15, even though his age isn't. Basically because they're the same age. So I didn't want to just sound like I'm talking about her because that would be bad. But seriously, I'm just over here like, what the hell? What? You put a brush where? I don't understand why you would do that. Now, here's the problem with my sister doing this. I didn't realize what was going on. I wouldn't have had the guts to stand up to her. But my dad came in, and my sister hates my dad's guts. So, because my dad had to pick, does he confront my sister to tell her not to put a brush in the washing machine? Or does he end up silent about it and potentially cause us a lot of money in the process? Well, my mother, she would have to replace that washing machine if something happened to it. And my dad, knowing this, decided that it was time to confront my sister, because why be silent about something that could cost us a lot of money if he's silent? But my dad doesn't have a good relationship with my sister. Because of this, there was no way for him to win by actually saying anything to her. But he had to say something. And that is what really, really drove the situation to be what it became. Which was basically him screaming at her. And I understand you do not scream at someone that is traumatized to the level she is. But you also need to understand at a certain point that it is your responsibility to handle your trauma properly. It is not acceptable for you to put a brush in the washing machine. I do not care if you are traumatized by the concept of this information. If this information is potentially going to harm people and our lives. My mom probably doesn't have much money to replace a washing machine just whenever my sister breaks it. I know that my dad could have approached this in a better level-headed way, but there was no winning that. There was no winning that conversation, no matter who brought it up. My sister does not accept fault. But hearing that, that exchange just drove me nuts. And I used this as the outlet, as usual, and I'm just like, okay, there's no way this can possibly end badly. Well, it did. And I think that just attacking you, Belle, was just the peak of it. I'm just like, I am sick of this. So sick of this. But I hope that you are satisfied, you Belle, but I doubt you are. I doubt it. I know I'm not, for some reason. I'm not even sure why I like doing them so much. Do you remember when I was screaming when I was doing them? Yeah, no one does, because my videos were 1 billion hours back then. But I was trying to do something, and I would just, it was panic mode whenever I would duel them, because they would just destroy everything. And for some reason, I just decided that I liked dueling them a lot. Why? How? I'm not sure. I don't comprehend. But that makes more sense compared to whatever disaster happened during the KC Cup. Like, what? I don't quite understand. The KC Cup? Okay, sure. But I'm still over here like, okay, my emotional state has nothing to do with who I'm paired against. Or my deck and what I draw. Okay, well, watch that video again and tell me that attacking you, Belle, made sense. It did not make sense. It made no sense. I know what you Belle's effect is. I'm like, what? Clearly there is something wrong with me. I'm not sure what that something is, but something is wrong with me. Although the fact I'm back means I'm feeling better to some extent, and you guys should know this. Now, why am I back already? I just feel better. Why do I feel better? I'm not sure, but this says something about how much progress I've made. It means that at the very least I'm not as crippled by my sister's behavior as I have been in the past. This doesn't mean her behavior is okay. It just means it doesn't damage me as much as it used to. Which means I could be becoming desensitized to it, which might help with recovery, but it's still not okay for her to behave like that. And I know it may be a controversial take to be like, I don't care how much trauma you're suffering if you're going to cost people a bunch of money. But you have to understand that although my sister is a minor, she's not dumb. And she's not super young to the point where it would make some sense for her to make a mistake like that. She's old enough to know that she shouldn't do this. I mean, really, she is. It's not about I don't care that she's traumatized. It's just you have to know when you need to know how to adjust. When you're traumatized, you have to understand that what triggers you is your concern. You have to manage those symptoms properly, or someone will trigger you, and they don't necessarily, they can only respect that so far. If they're going to potentially damage expensive objects, that could put, your caregiver in debt or something like that. Just understand that affects other people besides just you. And if that affects how effectively someone can take care of you, then that just adds to your trauma even more. Because the person that's supposed to take care of you starts to become strained as a result of their relationship. You can't protect a connection with your caregiver when you're causing them a lot of stress. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you have to be old enough after a point to realize that some things are not okay. And I believe my sister is at an age where even if she's rebellious and whatever, she understands what isn't okay and what is. She knows that putting a brush in the washing machine is not okay. At the very least, she should know now, but I do feel like that the fact she's traumatized may have damaged that just a bit. And my dad didn't want to yell at her. You have to understand this. It's the fact that he had to say something because it's not okay to put a brush in the washing machine. And no one else was saying anything to her. I didn't have the guts to even check. I didn't know what was happening. I was recording. And then I decided to take a break. And I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know what was going on because I guess I'm loud. Okay, fine, I'm loud. But I'm not trying to be some heartless bitch. I understand she's suffered a lot and it is the caregiver's responsibility to make sure that she's safe and in a healthy environment. But if you're creating the unhealthy environment for yourself, that doesn't help you manage your trauma. That just creates more of it. Because if you're refusing to respectfully interact with someone trying to tell you, hey, this isn't okay, you shouldn't do this. If you can't interact with that person responsibly, respectfully, if you can't interact with someone like that respectfully, that's going to impact a lot because you're living with this person. And again, my dad doesn't want to have this relationship with my sister where he's just yelling at her. It's not something he wants to do. It's what it tends to turn into because of my sister's extreme behavior and reactions to him in general. It's something he doesn't want to resort to. But when no one else is saying a word, he feels like he has to do something or significant damage will happen. And I feel like there is a gray area here where I don't really think it's okay to just say, I don't care about this person's trauma. That's not true. I do care. But I also don't want my mom to have to replace a washing machine. She's already done that recently enough. I don't think she should have to do that again. Especially when I know I'm going to ask her for a new laptop soon. I've made her aware of this on multiple occasions, so she knows that I need one. I don't think it's okay for my sister to cost my mom so much money. My mom isn't rich. We're not able to replace everything she damages, which is the point of the entire conversation. It's not to traumatize her, it's to tell her not to do this. And my dad isn't the most patient person in the world. He has anxiety, and my sister drives that up a wall. The healthcare system can only do so much for your anxiety. When the source of your anxiety is basically screaming at you, just for saying that you shouldn't do something. It really isn't okay. And again, this is a gray area that I feel pretty much both parties could have handled better, and I don't know what the solution is. It's hard to say, but I don't think the healthcare system in its current form can actually address this, because my sister's trauma is super, super complex. It's very complicated, and there's definitely no way the United Healthcare System has the tools and resources to actually help a child in this situation. They don't have the resources to help me. So they definitely don't have them for her. And I was affected by that exchange. And not to the level I would have been in the past, but it was definitely a thing. And don't get me wrong, I definitely still feel bothered by the whole thing, but also when I heard my sister get insulted, I'm just like, I'm sorry, but you're being abusive. You're being abusive towards someone that's trying to save my mother from having to replace a washing machine. If you're being seriously, there is just no defending someone after a certain point. And yes, she's a minor, but that is why she was being told, you don't put this in the washing machine. She was being told, don't do this. And my sister's response isn't to acknowledge that, it's to scream. It drives me nuts. Like, I don't even understand where she came up with that idea. What was she on? Probably nothing. Her brain is messed up because she's been through so much shit that it's affected the development of her brain. That's how early her shit started. But her shit started before she was able to have any memory of it. So her brain has developed in a way where basically she just isn't stable, and she probably never will be. But you never know. I mean, maybe the system can do something. Maybe she'll get better. I doubt it. I mean, it was like, I was 50-50 on whether I'd get better after a certain point. And when I applied for disability, I certainly didn't think I would. So, I definitely I'm sitting over here like, if the system cannot help me, it can't help her. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like, dude, just have some great basic respect for the person trying to provide for you. Have some respect for someone that is trying their best and their hardest. Our mother doesn't have to buy you brownies from Domino's. She doesn't have to buy you fast food just because you ask for it. You aren't owed certain luxuries. You are owed food, you are owed a schooling, you are owed education, you are owed many things. But fast food is a luxury, not a guarantee. You don't need that to survive. It still drives me nuts that she would constantly do things like this. But that's what the whole situation was about in the last video. It was just so dumb. But I still don't understand how that affected my dueling, to be honest. I mean, my matchups weren't the greatest. I understand that I probably could have just taken a break, like, you know, like a normal person. But in my head, I was like, logic, though. Logic. Logically speaking, my experiences outside of a game does not influence what happens in the game. I get how many Solomon Great players in a row? How many? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but I still am not convinced. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic there. No logic at all. However, attacking you, Belle, was within my control. I think I just did that on purpose. I think that was on purpose. I mean, seriously, you can't tell me it wasn't. And I dual damage Merrick on video on purpose to throw shade. However, there is one thing I can say about Merrick. Yummy Merrick is not the real Merrick. And the real Merrick is not as toxic as my sister. Yami Merrick is gone by the ending of DM. So, Merrick got better. He did what he was supposed to do. I'm kind of surprised that he managed to get out of that without, going more batshit, but that's just my opinion. I mean, yeah, my opinion. Dude, listen. When you're in a serious situation, when you're that isolated, I don't care if you have family alongside you. When you see someone close to you experience some difficult shit, or actually, wait, when did Yami Merrick come out? When was he formed anyway? Was it like... The fact I don't know this is the most depressing thing in the entire universe. No, it isn't. It's not. It's not even. But I should know this. I feel I should know. I'm just surprised that I'm back already, because I was thinking about my therapist appointment earlier, and I'm just like, before my therapist appointment, chill, everything's great. We're having a nice conversation. I don't need as much therapy today. After the therapy appointment, shit goes downhill. I'm just over here thinking, what? Seriously, after my appointment has occurred, I can no longer vent to my therapist because the appointment is over. It's just like, dude, can I even win? And the answer is no. The reason I have 2 therapists is because I feel like it's justified. Like, if something happens, I don't know when that'll be. I don't know if I'll have to vent. I don't know if I will need therapy or if I can just have a general chat. I don't know when anything is going to happen. So I have both as a sort of insurance policy. Except insurance is just messed up, and I don't know why I need insurance just to have a sane life. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Even if the system fixed itself, even if my sister moved out, I would still need medication to be stable, which is depressing, but it's true. I mean, there's a point to me just not telling... Dude, I developed a second mental illness, and that's still not on Social Security's, and that's still not in their database. They don't know that I developed an anxiety disorder. They don't know I've got one. But I do, and I can't believe to this day that I didn't consider that as a possibility. Like, for a while, I was like, I've got a problem, but I don't know what it is. Maybe consider my parents' issues. Like, did I inherit anything? Because why was I so confused when I suddenly started hearing, it sounds like you're having an anxiety attack. I was confused. I was like, there's no way. What the hell? What? No, these are people with anxiety telling me that. Yes, I was. Because I've got family history of anxiety. Why was I confused or surprised? I don't know. But we know that I wasn't very stable in the past. We know that I'm getting better, but honestly, it's not because my sister is doing anything. I'm just becoming desensitized, apparently. And thank you for winning, Declan. I think you want to be on my good side. Just being honest with you. Oh my god. I feel better, but I honestly cannot tell you in English why. I don't think there is anything in the English language that can explain to you why I would feel better after what did. What seemed to do the trick? I don't understand. What? I did nothing along the lines of, I want to feel better about this situation. I want to feel better. No, I think I was doing the opposite. I was doing the opposite. But I feel better now? What? Dude. Okay, sure. I'll take it. But I will definitely, you know, I'm pretty sure there is more going on than just me being matched up against Salmon Great players just because of my mood. That's just because the deck is popular. It's that popular. That's what it is. It's a statistical it's a statistical thing. And my opening hand sucking, that's a statistical thing too. Eventually you get terrible hands. Eventually you get terrible hands. And losing those mirror battles in Magia Record, well, maybe I should have picked better battles then, instead of being dumb. I know I can't read, but I can certainly read numbers. Japan doesn't use different numbers, it just uses a different alphabet system. And I can't be doing that bad, I'm at B rank. I'm kind of surprised, I thought I'd be at C rank. If I didn't lose those 2 matches, I might have somehow gotten to I might be able to have gotten to A rank. But now, I'm hoping that I can, hold on a second, I think I'm out of Legendary Duelist. Yeah, I think I am, because Subrunner was the last one. Okay, let me see if there's anyone else here. Yeah, because that's totally going to happen again. Okay guys, that wraps things up for this video. In the next video, I'm going to go into ranked. No, wait. No, not ranked. I'm going back to the KC Cup. I will see how well I do there. But I assume it will just be a lot more Solomon Great players, so I better get ready to duel those.